In this video, we'll be discussing the yellow segment of the Eatwell guide. This is the potatoes, bread, rice, pasta, and other starchy carbohydrates food group. Foods included in this food group are things like potatoes, breakfast cereals like porridge and Weetabix, bread, pasta, and rice. Other starchy carbohydrates worth a mention are things like couscous, crackers, yams, and plantains. In general, foods contained in this food group are going to have the greatest impact on our blood sugar levels. This is because when we eat foods that contain carbohydrates in them, they are going to be broken down and digested into glucose. This glucose then enters into our bloodstream and causes our blood sugar levels to rise. It's important to note that not all carbohydrate foods are going to have the same effect on our blood sugar levels. Some carbohydrate foods like white rice are going to be broken down by the body very quickly, and this leads to a sharp rise in our blood glucose levels and then a drop. Other carbohydrate foods are broken down by the body more slowly, so things like whole grain bread, and this causes a more steady rise in our blood glucose levels. We discussed this in our GI video, so please take a look at this video. If we look at this graph, we can see that we need to be mindful of our carbohydrate portion sizes, because the more carbohydrate containing foods we eat, the higher our blood glucose levels are going to rise. And this means we'll need more insulin to bring our blood glucose levels back down to a healthy range. Just because carbohydrate foods cause our blood glucose levels to rise, this does not mean they should be excluded from the diet. They are still an important source of energy, provide us with fiber, as well as B vitamins. There is no set amount of carbohydrates we should be eating, as this varies depending on our age, our weight, our gender, and our activity levels. So what portion sizes should we be going for? Ideally, a quarter of our plate should roughly be made up of a starchy carbohydrate food, or this could be the size of your fist. So pasta, the size of your fist, or a jacket potato, the size of your fist would be an appropriate portion size, or 2 slices of bread would be a portion size. When selecting foods from this food group, opt to select whole grain varieties like brown rice and whole wheat pasta, because these foods are broken down by the body slower, which means that our blood sugar levels rise steadily. Try not to have double carbohydrate portions at mealtimes, like lasagna and garlic bread. And remember, these foods have the greatest impact on our blood glucose levels. So stick to an appropriate portion size, which is the size of your fist, a quarter of your plate, or 2 slices of bread.